3, 2, 1, let's go! Was that too loud for you?
That was way too loud.
That was too loud for me.
He's got sensitive ears. He told you. Oh, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Funky Panther, coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas. We've got a fantastic show for you here on episode number 53. We've got the Maples in the building from Maple Branch Brewing. Stuart, Alyssa, you want to say hey?
How's it going?
Yes, super excited. We've been waiting for this for a bit now. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's get into it. I'm Chad.
I'm Javier.
And I'm Tim.
And we are
the Funky Panther!
And that is what it is.
Yes.
How are y'all doing?
Doing
Awesome.
good.
Good? Man, we're so excited that you're here. We've been going to the brewery for a year now, I guess. It's been a full year because you just had the...
Well, so
Almost.
it's almost been a year.
Okay.
We had our soft opening October 3rd. So, we're getting there. It's
Getting on 9 months.
getting on
yeah.
nine
So you're
months.
working on it, yeah.
Yeah, we're working on it. Yep.
Gosh.
Like, I remember looking at your socials whenever y'all were opening up and y'all had, y'all were selling the 6-packs, right?
Yeah, we were hand bottling.
We were
Yeah.
selling
So,
these guys,
yep.
actually.
Hand bottled, hand labeled.
Yeah, you brought us some beer? What are we about to start drinking?
Check Pilsner.
My favorite.
Checkulator.
Checkulator.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Drink to that.
Cheers.
Let's get it going.
All right.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Try this out.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
I've actually had that. And so
You say try it out. Oh, let's try
Let's
this
try it
out.
out. Yeah.
We've already tried it. This is one of my favorite beers. from
Pilsner's.
Maple Ranch.
Yeah, well, typically I like a good Pilsner.
Yeah.
Just nice, clean, crisp, refreshing.
And that one you have available like in the Stein, right? The big one?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's usually like the go-to if we're like...
The mug and the
hang out.
Stein.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, very nice.
Like I always, that's my go-to whenever I get off of work. I work late. I work late hours. Like I work like maybe 90 hours a week. And so I'll like on a Saturday after I'm done, I'll go over to the brewery. And if I'm by myself or like with friends, I'll just get one of those and just enjoy it and be on the patio, and it feels great.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you pay close attention when our bartenders are pouring, check out the tap handle because Stuart ordered a special tap handle just
From the
for
Czech Republic. The
our
side
Czech
No
pills.
kidding. No
Yeah.
way.
It is
wow.
a side pull, traditional, like gold, brass gold.
It came and I couldn't hook it up because
It was really complex. We're like, what is this?
It's European versus American draft
Yeah.
system.
Right,
So I had
right.
to get adapters and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So yeah, we've got our normal tap handles, and then just far on the left, we're gonna have that like the side pull one just for the Czech
You're calling the
pills.
Czech Republic up, like where you bought it.
I know.
Like,
Hey.
what do I do with
Taking
this?
It was a good idea at first, but you got it working, right? So it's
Yeah,
all
we
good.
figured it out.
I went on Craft Beer Professionals and I was like, hey.
I really
how to
can't figure
do
out
this.
this tap handle.
Nice. All right. So generally when we have new guests, we do the Funky Five. And since we've never met before, even though we've been in and out of your spot, we've never met. So let's go ahead and get to know you both a little bit better by asking just like 5 quick fire questions with the Funky Five. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. Cool. So number 1, what is your favorite Fort Worth restaurant?
Ooh, Clay Pigeon.
Ooh, that's a good one.
They're not only our neighbors, but when we go on our date nights or we just need to like find a place that's really great, we go for that bone marrow
I
appetizer.
was about to say the
So,
bone marrow.
yeah.
That is the
Yeah.
best.
My parents think it's the weirdest thing, but
We love
I think
it.
we love it, so we're all about that.
Flavor's
But
insane.
my favorite restaurant is Buffalo Bros.
Oh, yeah. Stuart
So
loves
do you,
Buffalo.
do you go for the wings or do you go for
Oh,
the pizza?
wings, hot
Yeah?
wing, traditional hot wings, blue
Wing
cheese.
Wednesday.
Boneless or bone-in?
Bone in.
Thank you.
Traditional, he said.
Boneless is not.
Well, obvious traditional.
Boneless is not wings. It's just
do
like
not hit on the boneless like chicken guys. All right.
Boneless is great because you get more actual meat in my
True,
opinion,
true.
and it's
Boom.
easier.
The meat tastes better on the bone.
Yeah.
That is true.
I agree with that. It's also
spread
more work.
I spread it and eat it like it's just like drums
Twist
or
it,
just
yeah.
absolutely make a meat lollipop and just eat it
Yeah.
that way. Yeah, come on.
I've seen them do it.
It's easy. It's perfect. It's delicious.
And they have a ton of craft beer. The
They do.
downtown one especially.
And
Yeah.
that theater room in the back, like to
Yeah.
watch a game or something, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
we didn't even know that was there until we were sitting at the bar and we just look over and we're like, oh, that's a whole other thing. Like, what is
They
this?
said they had no seats, but
yeah.
can we sit there?
Yeah,
Like-
let's sit in the theater.
Yeah, it's huge. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, question number 2, and you can be biased. Favorite drinking spot in Fort Worth?
I'm going to have to say Maple Branch is number one. Just personally,
Of course.
But what would our other favorite drinking spot be, back when we had a life?
Long time ago.
It was a while ago.
Let me think.
I mean, we went
Bearded
to-
Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of
Bearded
fun.
Lady
That's a
was a
good
big one. We went to Hop Fusion a lot, kind of through college and everything. Trying to think where else we went to.
Cowtown.
Oh yeah, Cowtown,
Cowtown
of
Brewery,
course.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, all of our other brewery friends here. I mean, they're all great.
Where'd y'all go to school?
TCU.
I read it earlier.
Oh, you knew the answer to that question.
Testing us.
I gotta let the people know.
Thank God I
where
didn't
did you go to
forget.
school?
He did his research, and he wants everyone to know.
Oh, from the beginning, I did my research. Oh man.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, favorite local musician or band?
Ooh.
I'm trying
We've
to
had
think.
one now every Friday.
I know. So I was
I'm
going to
trying
say
to
that
decide.
gets difficult. Now, we just had Quentin Morin. He's actually from Dallas. So if you consider it
It's
local.
local-ish. Yeah, that's good.
DFW.
I know there's some competition there,
Oh, yeah.
but Quentin's awesome. And then Big Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever,
Big Mike, yeah.
And then wherever
Everyone
we
loves
see
Big
him
Mike.
play, I mean, that's always a good time. So we want to have him in.
Brody
Castor.
Castor's
Yep.
good.
Okay.
He's great. He's a country singer. So,
Nice.
yeah, get all different genres.
We've had a lot of them.
At some point, I'm just going to go ahead and promote him. You need to hear our buddy Zeus. He used to play at. He was actually on our show, but he used to play at Hop Fusion a lot.
He lives in Egypt now.
He lives in Egypt now. Yeah.
But he's
When
gonna
he's
have,
in the area.
in July, he's already got like
Yeah, he's already
Laura
booked up,
and
yeah.
I think Panther booked. Yeah,
That's great.
he just wants
Is
to
he
get
just
back out there
coming
in front
back
of people.
for?
Coming back for the summer. Him and his wife are teachers, and so they're teaching abroad.
Oh, sweet.
They're crazy.
Well, you
They've
should
been
get his
there-
contact.
I was about to say, maybe I'll
full
grab a
year.
card or something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Songs by Zeus on Instagram.
Okay.
And Zeus, if you're listening, you're gonna owe me on that one.
With the plug. All right, favorite podcast. Seriously, it doesn't have to be this, right?
So I'm a nerd, and I listen to history podcasts.
Ooh, which one?
So Paul Revere's, what's it called? No, it's a Ben Franklin podcast. So that would be my favorite.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Stuart really doesn't listen to much podcasts.
When I did at work before Maple Branch
Yeah.
to learn brewing with style,
yeah.
to
Oh,
be
yeah.
able to Zandezev.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good. Learning about beer,
Right.
doing all that.
Yeah.
I mean, all those, the Brewing Network, basically.
Well,
All
and I
those
was about to
podcasts,
say, and then
yeah.
of course, like tuning into you guys is awesome.
Yeah.
And then we also, any local beer podcasts are great. So.
When we were brewing, like we did
Yeah.
a lot of homebrew back in the day, we would listen to. I don't know if they still have it. Stubby's like
Come and Brew It,
Radio.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yep.
come and brew it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was always fun to listen to because it was more local, and so you've actually met some of these people.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
You can, like,
I
kind of
walked
relate
in
to it.
buying something when everything was closed and got on there real quick.
Oh,
Little
I remember
calls, yeah.
that. Yeah, a little cameo.
That's cool.
Is the colonial period your favorite period? Like,
Sidebar question.
3A.
I do love the colonial period. I will say it's not quite as relatable, as the local Come and Brew It podcast. But I like all. I mean, we both actually really like history. A lot of our beer names, you'll kind of get some historic references.
Right.
So like our Romanovs Revenge.
Ooh,
is
yes,
our
the
Russian
Romanovs,
Imperial.
yeah.
So that's the Romanovs, and
That's back on tap
Imperial
now.
Russia. Yes, that is back on tap.
That
Plug.
got
a good
silver at the Newark International Beer Competition,
did.
which we never have said
Congratulations.
yet. But
Yeah, well, I was gonna wait to announce it until I don't know. at some point.
exclusive.
We get exclusives here every once in a while, so you heard it here first, guys.
Also, I like that you listen to like historical podcasts. I mean,
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of crime podcasts, and
Yep.
Yeah, my girlfriend's a crime junkie, so she listens to all the crime. In fact, she listened to it so much she had to stop listening to it.
Yeah, that
'cause it was
kinda
giving
does
her- it
something
was
to your
messing-
mind a little
yeah.
bit.
She couldn't sleep at night. Yeah,
or this is for the ladies, but I listen to Bailey Syrian, I think is her last name, and she does her makeup while telling a true crime story.
that's who she. So that's so
pretty
Jessie.
cool.
That's my girlfriend. That's who she watches.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's a great storyteller.
She is a good
and
storyteller.
She's really good at makeup, so I'm like,
It's like a win-win for you, right?
right.
here recently, I've been listening to a Gossip Girl podcast because I love Gossip Girl. And so it's three women talking about Gossip Girl, and I'm just like loving it. 'Cause
That's awesome.
My ex got me into Gossip Girl, and now I just
Was
can't
it
stop.
XOXO?
XOXO? Yeah, no, let's not talk about
That's
that.
awesome.
So Dustin Massey is online. He said boneless wings are just chicken nugs with sauce.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong
Come
with
at
that.
me, bro.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Come at me.
I
gotta-
agree.
I got a funny thing, like sidebar. I got a thing on my computer at work, like saying Dustin Massey's playing a show at. It just popped up, like brew something, and I took a picture of it. I'm like, oh, I gotta send it to Dustin. That's really cool. Like
Very
my
cool.
computer's telling me to watch Dustin.
Oh, nice.
I love it.
Very cool.
I'm putting us on our story. Sorry.
Important IG stuff.
So last question. I'm going to do this one.
Yeah, do it, man.
So favorite movie when it comes on TV, like you just have to stop and watch it. Everybody's got one.
Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I mean,
like the
Lord-
whole
Which one?
trilogy.
Which one?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, well, Return of the King.
Okay.
Then the Two Towers.
Two
Gotcha.
Towers for sure. 100%.
Like it comes on, doesn't matter where it's at.
Yeah.
You're stopping what you're
What's
doing.
the
You're
battle,
watching it.
the famous battle in the second movie?
Helm's Deep?
Helm's Deep. I mean, that is the best like battle I've ever seen.
Is that the
on
one
any movie.
where
the
like
elves
they're-
come in?
Yes,
and
yeah.
marching
They're about to
like
lose,
badass, yeah, and everyone's like looking at these elves.
Yes.
It's like thank God.
Didn't happen in the books though.
No, it didn't, but it's still great.
Like a girl used to see like Sicario, like she like used to, she holds it at a high pedestal. Like she loves Lord of the Rings. She's gonna go to New Zealand to where they filmed it.
Have you seen
That'd
our
be cool.
branding? Because you might be able to pick up on some Lord of the Rings.
You heard it. You heard it here first.
We originally had a Gandalf in the middle of our logo.
That's good. Oh, that's
And we had to tame it down.
Is that the you shall not pass Gandalf?
No, that might have been a reference. I'm not sure.
That's awesome.
shall not pass. So cool. Y'all are awesome. Like y'all are,
I love
We're
it.
just nerds.
I didn't realize we'd have nerds here on the podcast.
It's usually us
Lord.
nerds on here.
I know. Y'all are cool. I love y'all. That's so
You always
awesome.
get worried
Thanks.
before the podcast when you don't meet them and you don't really know, but this is working out all
I
right.
always get scared. I like for new people. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say. How am I going to act? Y'all are.
But so
But
far,
history and Lord of the Rings, Javier's in
absolutely.
100%.
Dude, I'm like an old man. They say if you're getting older, you love two things: smoking meats or World War II.
World War II.
so you're on World War II.
I love
meats.
Oh my god! Oh, speaking of which, like I was watching Band of Brothers. I watch Band of Brothers every year.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so like the guy, I don't know if you remember on Band of Brothers, like the guy who kills all the German soldiers, gives them cigarettes before, and he shoots them.
Yeah.
Guys in Gossip Girl.
Oh wow.
You and your
Connections.
Gossip Girl
He's-
references.
I'm sorry.
Need to stop.
I'm like
Nothing.
for sure.
I'm like the real guy that's based off of it.
No, he's
and
not,
I'm following you. I'm following you.
He's the guy who ran through the whole town.
Yes.
getting shot.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Oh my
I know.
god. He's
I
my
know.
favorite. He's my favorite person
Yeah.
on Band of Brothers. Favorite. Oh my god. I'm so happy. I'm sorry.
Winters is pretty
Winters
good,
is.
though.
I love Winters, but like, it's gonna bug me what his name is.
While you're thinking about that, we've got some bonus questions. Not a part of the Funky Five. That is concluded. But I have a question. Are you turning your thermostat to 78 or?
That'll be a little bit rough in the brewery. I'm going to be honest. I'm really hoping that
It's
we
on
don't
70.
hit. Yeah, we're possibly on.
That's
70.
a no for me.
Yeah,
I,
it's gonna be a no.
ERCOT needs to get their shit together.
Hey, this is insane.
I signed a 5-year
This is
contract.
insane. I don't know.
I have
paying for it. You know what I mean?
I have a window unit in my bedroom just to make it extra cold. So
There
I mean
you
that's
go.
how I roll.
Yep.
Spears. It's Lieutenant Spears. That's who it was. Yeah.
Well
Sorry.
done. Well done.
Okay, Javier, your bonus question.
Okay. Describe your perfect Sunday.
Ooh.
If it doesn't revolve the brewery, like before pre-brewery.
You know, we like going on walks because
Oh,
we're
nice.
peaceful like
Coffee,
that. We try to be.
breakfast, walks.
Yeah, we love
Yeah.
coffee. So
Okay.
we'll make some coffee, have some breakfast. We have a very traditional breakfast we make basically every day when we're not eating to go food or like fast food.
egg breakfast,
Full egg
sausage,
breakfast.
bacon, everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome,
And,
yeah.
And then honestly, like homebodies. So just staying at home.
Yeah,
like,
I
not
completely
doing a
understand
lot.
that.
Yes, we like to just kind of recluse.
So his Instagram handle is Go Chad Go.
Yeah.
And if that clues you into anything, whereas mine should be like Stay at Home Tim.
Yep.
Stay, sit, sleep, Tim.
Yeah,
Yep.
because that's my ideal weekend after because I work on an ambulance and so I'm busy throughout the week and it's stressful and I'm tired. And Saturday I just want to like lay on my couch and just watch movies and not do a whole lot and that's what I love to do. So
Yep. So it's just great to decompress.
So you won't see any peanut beers in Maple Branch because I have a peanut allergy. Have you dealt
really?
with that a
Yes.
lot?
Yeah, so yes, actually, okay. weird thing. There's a restaurant over off of University that was close to where it used to be Chili's over there. If you remember where Chili's were, it's
yeah.
E.T.'s now.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant just similar, like somewhere right over there, and a girl was handling a peanut whiskey. She works there. She took a whiskey that was a peanut whiskey, and she touched it and went into straight up anaphylaxis.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's intense.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was actually like I've never seen someone like didn't touch it, like just touch the glass and
Wow.
smelled it, and
Wow.
it sent her straight up. It was insane.
I was like that as a kid.
Yeah,
it is not better. I get it in like
Yeah,
10. I get
yeah.
like anaphylactic shock in like 10
Yeah,
minutes,
yeah.
but
it's not that
but
bad.
it used
thankfully.
to be. I get hives and can
Right.
barely breathe.
Wow.
Just
Yeah.
breathing it. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, when we first started dating, obviously I was not aware that he had a peanut allergy. So
You kept that hush hush,
no.
right?
we kept it hush hush for a while. I had to get dedicated first,
That
and then
seems
he
like
had
an
to support
imperative
me.
thing to bring up.
Wow.
By the
so
Made
way-
us sandwiches.
we were at a party, and I love Chick-fil-A. So I was running toward the Chick-fil-A,
Oh.
and he's like, Alyssa, you can't eat that. And I'm like, who the hell is he telling me I can't eat Chick-fil-A? And then he's like, well, it's cooked in peanut oil,
Right.
and I have a peanut allergy. And I was like, oh, okay.
Dude, that- and
I
that-
clearly really like him, because that would have been our last date if I didn't. So
And that's incredible because there's so much stuff that is actually cooked in peanut oil, and
Yep.
so many people don't think about that. Yeah,
Yep.
that's wow.
yep.
There's like,
love.
there's like that sauce at Central Market.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know.
there's so many little things.
Almost happened last night.
Oh wow.
So do you not eat Chick-fil-A anymore? Or?
You know, when he's out of town, I have to say that's the first
best
place
time
I'm
of our
going.
life.
Yeah,
that's your guilty pleasure.
that's my guilty pleasure.
like he's gone. Chick-fil-A time.
Chick-fil-A.
Because he's gonna know if like you eat something and like 3
Oh,
hours
yeah.
later you brush your teeth and everything and you give him a kiss and he's like, well, you ate it.
No,
Yep.
my mouth itches.
Yeah.
Like-
No, you can call me out on it.
You tried to kill me?
Yeah. What's going on?
Okay, so aliens. Y'all think aliens are real?
Ooh. I think yes.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
say no.
this has been a theme now because we talked about it a few episodes ago. He saw some UFO flying around by where he lives over in Benbrook. We had a guy.
Allegedly. I mean, it was UFO. It couldn't have
He
been-
couldn't identify
maybe
it,
not
and it was-
aliens.
Yeah.
Could be a military aircraft.
Right. Yeah, we're by Lockheed. That's what I keep
Military
saying.
aircraft.
And then we had Rafael. We had Rafael Horta from. He's doing.
That's
They're
what
doing
they
air
want you to
quotes.
think.
We had Rafael Horta on from 817 Vintage Hype, and he was talking about his experience seeing like this bright flash of light, and his sister saw it over in another city, basically, and you know, and so I was just curious because I just read today that the CIA confirmed that there was this movie that came out a while back where they were autopsying an alien, and the CIA said, yeah, that's real.
Wow.
I saw that, but
Stuart's like, I still don't believe it.
I mean, they're doing the NFT. Do you see the NFT? It was the NFT trade. Like it's an NFT item, and it's a screen. It's like a high quality screen print of that video. And yeah, supposedly the CIA said, yeah, that's real. So
That's going to
Yeah.
go for a ton of money.
it
They
is.
already went for $1 million.
$1 million is what it, yeah.
Sheesh. Wow.
Yeah. So that's my question there. I just wanted to, because I'm going to carry it on as a theme now because that's what's
I
happened.
feel like it already
Yeah,
has
it's
been
interesting.
naturally.
Absolutely. Well, my question was going to be what movie world, but I mean, y'all talked about Lord of the Rings.
We've actually discussed this intensely.
Really?
So
What?
the three options are Harry Potter, Star
Okay.
Wars, or Lord of the Rings.
Star Wars,
Okay,
100%
all right.
for
Now,
me.
now we've got a bunch of different scenarios here, but for like a happy life, you should probably go for Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Because I'm sure when you discuss it, you're going to Hogwarts.
Of course.
Obviously,
Yeah.
you're
of
not
course.
just going
This
to
is
jump
post
into-
Voldemort.
Oh,
Voldemort was in the
absolutely.
90s.
Yeah, it
So-
wasn't it? It was like 98 whenever
Yeah,
he died or
it
something like
was.
that.
If you
read the books,
if you
like
read the
yeah,
books.
Like, is it cool to say his name still, or?
yeah,
Yes.
of course
Okay.
he's dead.
He's dead now, so it's all
dead.
good.
He
Yeah,
is dust.
Voldemort. Oh,
Yeah.
that bitch. Oh, sorry.
I just want to preface this by they didn't know these questions. She already had 3 options available, and I thought that was the dumbest question you could ask. And she was like, "Oh, actually, we've had lots of conversations about this
This
one."
is important.
I was
Oh,
like,
I mean,
absolutely. Yeah,
This
totally.
is an important topic.
Okay,
But yeah,
so Harry Potter. Okay, what are you going to be? Both of y'all. What are you going to be like, real quick?
like the
Like what? Yeah.
School?
Yeah.
I mean, I took the test, so I'm a Gryffindor.
Okay, cool.
Me too.
Yes, and so is Stuart
Slytherin over
also.
here.
That was
But-
Slytherin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I lean.
It said my second house would be Ravenclaw, so I don't know what that means, but
So Star Wars. What would you be doing in the Star Wars galaxy?
Stuart would be a Sith.
No.
So
Really?
Thanks.
I'm with you on that one. I had a soft spot for the whole, Siths and all that.
you know,
so
we've
Well, have you played Knights of the Old Republic?
I was gonna
That
say
video game?
Battlefront.
Yes.
But
No, that's the best game ever.
Okay.
It's
Knights of the Republic.
Knights of the
2, I thought
Republic
the
was
was
best.
original one.
Yeah.
yes.
I thought part 2 was better.
Stuart's like, no.
It was like unfinished.
Okay, so you'd be a Sith.
I'd probably be like, where would I be?
Don't say youngling. Don't say.
A youngling.
Leia.
No, like I don't know. I think I would be a Jedi. I'd be with Yoda in
Nice.
his little hideaway area.
Nice. So
So
I guess we fight.
yes.
It's like a Romeo and Juliet thing. Yeah.
And so the third one, what was the third one?
It was
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, so I am 5'2", so I'd probably be in the Shire.
Okay, cool. Big hairy feet.
But,
You know?
I have a lot of hair, so
Yeah.
like all
Hey, you
kind of.
never see
Absolutely.
combat though.
I don't mind that.
You're just chilling in the Shire, you know.
Me and Bilbo. It's fine.
My wife's with you on that one. She's 4'11".
Yeah.
So
Yep. I accept it.
Cool. That was fun.
Did you want to ask your last one there?
Mine?
yeah,
you got one more.
more.
You got one more.
Yeah.
Oh,
Before Real
Twilight or True Blood? Like which one? Like which vampire?
Neither.
Yes, Stuart was a neither. I will reluctantly say that I was a big Twilight person
Okay,
growing
yeah.
up. So
Cool, cool.
So was
Yeah.
Javier.
Yeah.
Still
I read
still
it in
not
college.
growing up,
I
but-
read it in college.
I
You
read
know,
the
and
book.
I didn't read
Yep.
or
All
do
the books.
anything. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know.
You know, I actually I follow this guy on Instagram who he redoes scenes and he acts them out instead of Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
And it's very funny. So I'll have to send it to you.
my worst scene, the scene I hate the most is when Jasper in the movie, he's like, my apologies, man.
All of a sudden he had the accent.
Yeah, what the hell?
Where did this come from?
Dude, come on, man.
Yep.
What scene is that?
He's talking to Alice and he's like, and she like gives him shit for something and he's like, well, my apologies, ma'am. And
But in the whole, you did a better accent
Right.
than he did. My apologies, ma'am. Like, hey, what in the Colonel Sanders are you doing right now? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. The last movie I kind of felt like indifferent for. I mean, I was like, I read the book and I'm like, this isn't how it's supposed to be. And at the
Yeah.
end, they're like, oh wait,
Just
no,
kidding.
JK, just enjoy this fight scene.
If you think about it, though, like if they actually would have followed through with the book, it would have been extremely anticlimactic,
Yes,
like
absolutely.
watching it
Uh-huh.
as a movie. And so I think they just needed to have that scene
Yeah.
where Edward gets his head ripped off or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
the hell happens.
Oh my god.
Spoiler
then-
alert.
Whoops.
Oh, it's been 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's just now
They've
getting
had-
into
they've had
Twilight,
their time.
there's better things out there.
I've been considering it.
If you're listening to this podcast and you're considering Twilight, then you're kind of a bit late.
All right, so that is all the Funky Five and the random ask questions that we had for you. So now we're going to get more into you, try to get to know you a little bit better, other than the random stuff. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you both personally before we get into like the beer, the brewery, and all that kind of stuff?
Go first.
Yeah, so I am from Chicago originally. So grew up there and then moved to Fort Worth to go to TCU. We like to say like we aren't from here, but we got here as soon as we could. That saying resonates with us pretty well. So I was a marketing major at TCU. That's where we met. And then, of course, kind of getting into the brewery and the beer that we're not going to get into yet. But yeah.
I'm from St. Louis originally.
Oh, so
We're
neither one of you are from
Midwesterners.
here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Midwest. Cardinals fan.
Yes. That defines him.
Okay.
Moving on.
We were at a TCU game that was at Jerry World, and we were watching maybe game 6. What was it? Something like that. And all the Cardinals fans found each other, like 20 people, surrounded by all like Rangers fans.
Stuart loves this story. It's
And then we're all cheering, and they're all like,
That was the game because they always talked about like they were playing the same day and like they would go across like the street because the ballpark was there, and I remember because St. Louis fans were in town for the Rams game, right?
I don't
St. Louis Rams.
probably.
Yeah, I think you're right,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah, because it was weird that they were both playing like
Kind of
Cowboys were
aligned.
playing because the Cowboys lost, I think,
I don't
because
know.
we sucked.
I mean, it sounds about right.
Well, I
Probably
mean,
not making any fans.
I'm
Say Stuart.
gonna tell you that
Business.
we've sucked for a while though. So
We have.
Yeah. But we still love our teams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like I understand it. You got the hometown.
If you were
wanna-
from here and then you were still a Cardinals fan, we'd have some
like
questions.
yeah,
But like
you can just leave. It's fine.
No,
It's
close the
hard.
door. Lock it.
We're as Cardinal fans. I think we're pretty spoiled. Like every year I grew up, we went to the playoffs,
Yeah.
winning World Series like
Yeah.
constantly.
You had Mark McGuire,
Yep.
you had the home run king, like
Pujols.
asterisks. Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
Chad.
Oh.
Don't get Chad started with Pujols.
not a fan. Not a fan of
Aw.
Pirates.
I kind of wish you would have stayed with St. Louis.
No, I think, but we made the right decision. What he wanted like 240, 260. That
Yeah.
I'm not even.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He hadn't really.
It was
been the
not
same.
worth the money.
I mean,
at
the
that
first
point.
first maybe 2 or 3 years he was with like Anaheim. It was Pujols numbers, but like after that, like you haven't heard much from him.
Right.
You know, I mean, now he's like not with them anymore. He's done with his contract.
He got released and then picked up.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Like, yeah. I can't remember who, but
You will notice I'm not contributing to this conversation. You found the hole in my mind.
Yeah, neither am I.
well, this is the Raspberry Fields.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is our most popular beer right now. Oh,
Yeah,
A little bit. Yeah.
No,
this is our most popular beer right now.
it's so good.
And so it's essentially our blonde ale with a couple 100 pounds of real raspberries added to it. So no extracts, syrups.
It's delicious.
whatever,
I already know because this is the one my wife usually gets.
So I've got a
She's
question
just
for you then.
Drinking them by the teku, right? Isn't that usually what
Teku.
the
Yep.
teku? Yeah, just
Yep.
drinking them. Yeah, delicious.
So how are you dealing with the natural organisms on the raspberries? Do you just let it go or what?
So they're IQF, so they're like instantly frozen.
Okay, yeah.
So they keep their exact ripeness and freshness, and we buy them that way.
Okay.
And then we unfreeze them for like 36 hours, put them straight in, never have a problem.
That's cool.
Flash frozen. Flash.
We played around with. So when we were doing our brewing stuff, we started. So we jumped right in and decided we wanted to try to do sours, like right off the bat.
oh,
right?
wow.
Ginormous mistake.
Oh, wow.
Huge mistake. But we did find that we freeze dried fruit lended like an awesome, like on a small scale.
Yeah.
So like 5 gallon. It lended like an awesome, like you got the fruit with not having to have as
It's like
much.
when it's soaked up, they
Yeah.
let the flavors out, and it was great. It was the only thing that we could get without buying a ton of fruit.
Right.
Like apparently you put a ton of fruit in there. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's delicious. You can taste it. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's really good.
Well, he had to go back multiple times and get more and more raspberries. I mean, this was an
Not
ongoing
enough raspberries.
thing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, we sold out grocery stores. Like, I mean, people were like,
Well,
out
where
of
we go, I was like,
raspberries.
I know you have more in the back.
Yeah.
And they told us no. I was like, I
Stop
know you have
lying to
more.
us.
And then they had like 44 cases.
Give
And I was like,
us
I knew
your
you did.
raspberries.
Don't lie to me. I called earlier.
Let me slip you. How's a Benjamin Franklin
How's a
look,
George
you know?
Washington in your pocket real quick?
Got an Abe Lincoln here with your name on it.
I was like, I think they get a big shipment and they like
Can you just look, please?
piecemeal it out over time or something.
Right,
I don't know.
yeah.
But I was
mean,
like, no,
it's
I need
business.
them. Yeah, I know.
Sell it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Like,
crazy.
what are you reserving these for, except for us? I mean, who else is buying raspberries?
Is
in
there a
this bowl?
raspberry
The
parade coming
upcoming
soon?
raspberry parade.
What gets me is like, okay, with y'all's, I've had other, fruited beers, but you can tell like immediately whenever you touch it, like I know this is raspberry without even knowing the name. And some you get like maybe a very faint hint, and you get the color though because that just goes over really well. But this actually hits really hard with like boom raspberry in your face, and
Yeah.
it's the first time I had, I was like, okay, I can drink this every day. This is perfectly fine.
It's healthy. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna feel.
It's fruit.
I'm not gonna feel bad about it. You can make fun of me for drinking this fruited beer. That's fine. Whatever. It's delicious.
Well, because really,
It is.
like often, whenever you try raspberry type beers, like you really don't. I mean, you feel kind of how fake it is. Like with this, like you really feel it. You taste it. You know,
Right.
It's
Yeah,
like,
we've had others that they're like thick even or like too sweet,
yeah.
too
Yeah.
much going on.
And I think it's
like-
really the real fruit. That's, once again, not using an extract.
It goes
or
well
something.
with the body of the blonde.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to drink.
Yeah, the base beer is important for that
Yeah.
too. I mean, if you use the wrong base, then nothing that you put on top.
We
of it
tried to do I was like, I want to do a peach cobbler beer, and so I thought of like all like the bready stuff. I wanted to get that like I wanted to try to bring in that essence of like the crust and stuff.
Yep.
And so we did that. We got peach extract, which was the mistake,
Oh, yep.
and we drank that and immediately poured it out. It was just straight up
Oh,
like
sad.
yeah, like you put all the effort into trying to make something, and it was just like
it was so
complete-
bad.
Yeah, it was.
Well, and for people that don't brew beer or don't know, it's a timely process.
Yeah.
So to dump a beer is very sad.
yeah,
So-
absolutely.
Even just 5 gallons.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
So far, we've never dumped a beer.
Yeah. Good for
That's
yeah.
fantastic. That's actually that says,
Knock on wood.
that says a lot.
So what I like about this is that even like first time beer drinkers, you can like show them this, like have them try it, and they're not going to know the difference. Like I mean, it's delicious.
Yeah, that's pretty welcoming beer.
Absolutely.
Like that's an easy
Yeah.
to drink one.
We kind of joke that this is one of our top sellers because it doesn't taste like beer.
Absolutely.
They're like,
You know,
oh, this
and
isn't
it's-
exact beer. Oh, it's like if someone wants a cider, we're like, oh, try the
Yeah,
raspberry.
or
right,
if
right.
someone
Maybe,
likes like a rosé, it's like try the raspberry. It kind of
Yeah.
fits mold more than just beer. So.
Right. And it's just very well balanced. You can drink a lot of them too. Like it could probably be dangerous because you could just sit
Yes.
back and just drink this like in a pool or in a summer situation like we're about to be in or already are because it jumped from like 70 rain to like 100.
I know.
But like
In
this
like
is
a
like the
second.
perfect beer.
Typical
Yeah.
Texas.
Yep.
The only other raspberry beer that I can think of that we really liked was Atrial, but that's definitely like a sour and like very jammy. This is just easy drinking. You don't need to like just drink a little glass and be fine with it. Like this is like I can drink a few of these, which is really, really cool.
So food partnerships right now, like what do you have going on?
So, well, we haven't really talked about this too much, but we're actually kind of launching more of our own food.
Oh, really?
So,
cool. Nice.
Yeah, so that's been one of Stuart's big projects. Do you want to talk about it a little bit more? Or?
Yeah, I don't know how I have the mental bandwidth.
Yeah, when he
do
told me,
that,
he's like, we're going to do more food. And I'm like, where does the time?
Let's just take on more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. You invite food people. You pay for the building. You put in all the work, and it's like, oh, we want to do the food.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
There are some things where people have the expertise, and we can't mimic that. But with our pretzels, our hot dogs,
I love the pretzels.
Thank
like,
you.
I've had the.
Have you had the new
the
ones?
beer cheese.
Not the new ones.
We changed, and I think they're even better.
Yep.
Like, I love the
Yeah.
pretzels, though. I think that's the only thing I would get.
Guess what I'm doing this weekend?
Exactly.
Well, because you had M&O,
They're just
coming
bringing it over,
you know?
right?
Yep.
But like, I was like, man, I want the pretzel. Like that was.
Well,
Now we
really
have
liked
chicken
that.
fingers and
Okay.
waffle fries, really
pizza.
good.
Cool.
Pizza, pepperoni, cheese, and then we're adding
man.
more and more and more.
And not
So
not
boneless chicken fingers. You don't have.
Thank you.
so
Clearly, it's not that strong of a belief.
We'll call them fritters. 'Cause that's chicken strips with more fried around.
Okay. All right.
Stop, Chad.
I'm just saying.
and they're not fried in peanut oil.
Right.
No peanut
of course.
oil.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Awesome.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
It would be.
Sorry, didn't mean to stop you. So chicken fingers, waffle fries, pretzel.
Pizza.
Pizza, hot dog, and then what are we? We have wings.
Yeah.
Stuff. We're kind of like testing it.
Yeah.
But they're charging so much, and they're hard to
In case you
get.
didn't know, there's a
Prices are
chicken
crazy.
shortage
Yeah,
or something.
absolutely.
So.
It's weird.
So-
Everyone's charging an arm and leg for them now.
But
Yep.
Like they're,
but chicken tenders or the fritters are the same. So
It's weird.
that's the technical term.
Okay. All right.
Fritters.
Fritters. I know.
I want to see those on the menu. Chicken fritters.
It wouldn't sell. But we have onion rings actually that
Nice.
work really well.
Yeah.
It's just we're trying to make sure like having like 12 different bartenders or going up to 14 now. Like we have to make sure
Yeah.
everyone's kind of trained up.
Yeah.
Everyone has
All
their
aware
food
of how to do
handlers
it.
like doing
Yeah.
everything.
Yep.
So we're trying to slowly introduce.
There's a
all
lot of
that.
logistics behind that.
There is.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a ton, and it's food storage, cooking the actual food, all of that. So it's
And
a lot.
now you've got more prying eyes on you
Yes.
with the health
yeah.
inspectors and all
Yep.
that stuff coming
Yep.
in.
Yep. For sure.
Yep. Luckily, we do it all right. So
Yeah, and
we'll
it's
be okay.
worth it because it keeps people
Yeah.
are able to stay longer. They can have a meal. They're
And
not going to
drink.
be drinking.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
They're not going to have 3 or 4 beers without any food in their
Yeah.
stomach.
Yeah,
So
we
it's
saw
a
a lot
really
of
great
pizza.
way to make sure
Yeah.
people are staying, filling up.
you also have like art installations every now and then, like at the.
So we'll do pop-ups, like
Yeah.
a lot of pop-ups. It's kind of funny. We really range in which vendors we have in. We'll do a lot of markets. So we work with Wandering Roots Markets. They do a lot of local market, like vendor pop-ups. And so we have like Sarah Soy
We've
candles
had like
come
20
in.
to 25 different vendors.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
It's really. I mean, our market days are some of I would say our most fun because we did like a Christmas holiday market,
Mother's Day.
We did a Mother's
Bought you
Day.
a ton of stuff.
Yeah, that was great. I'm a first time mom. So
Is it-
I was like,
Congratulations.
give me gifts.
Congratulations.
I think.
First time dad.
Yeah. Father's
No one
Day
cares.
this Sunday.
Is it similar? I mean, I don't know if y'all know, but Lola's have like they have a little garage sale or like rummage thing.
Yep.
Is it similar to that where
Similar.
you got okay?
Yep, for sure. And then our neighbors Doc's record store,
Yeah, yeah.
they have their vintage flea market. So that's coming up this Saturday as
Yeah.
well. And that's in the open area across from us. So
That's awesome.
It's really great having the local people coming in and just showing what they have.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
That's very cool.
So let's take a step back. We talked about you, but how did you get into beer? Like, how did that all start?
Well, I drank a lot
Okay, great answer. Moving on.
of Bud Light,
Okay.
Coors, Budweiser,
Yeah.
all that. And so another Cardinals thing a little, but we actually, my parents went to like a charity thing and brought back a Chris Carpenter kind of charity basket. It had Sierra Nevada in it. And so I had that and I was like, oh, this is like way better.
Oh, yeah.
What is this? And then I had other craft beer, a couple other places, and then only after a couple of years, I was like, I I wonder if I can make this. Like, it just like kind of just happened. And so kind of when I was in college, like sophomore year, I started researching and all that. And I bought my all grain system. Kind of, it was actually aluminum pots. Like, it's very, Gatorade cooler, very like janky. But still make really good beer with it. But
did you jump straight into all grain?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Go you.
So I wanted to do it that way. And first beer, I did like a Sierra Nevada clone, and everyone really liked it. So I just kept brewing, kept learning, and just slowly, step by step. And then I think a huge part was joining the Cap and Hair Homebrew Club.
Yeah.
And then going through the whole BJCP learning class. So it was like a year long that really opened my eyes to beer styles and getting better, learning about everything, trying 10, 12 beers a night. Like,
and
basically
understanding what it takes to brew a beer true to style.
Yeah.
It's different just to brew a beer and then see what comes out versus, trying to hit certain attributes and
knowing
accurately doing
what
it.
people are looking for. Like, very particular judges, like, what's, no fault. Like, nothing can be wrong.
Yeah, I think when he started getting into the homebrew competitions is when he started winning them. And then we were like, oh, these are really good beers.
This is something we can actually,
Yeah, people enjoy this. Clearly, this is a good product and we have the business background. So it was from there that,
it just kept going, trying to prove the concept, writing business plans, probably wrote 100 different versions, just pushing, not stopping. Then 3.5, well, not then, but let's see. Before we signed our lease, 3.5 years ago before that, so let's say like 2016, we started looking at like real estate. And we weren't ready, but we had one guy that at least was willing to entertain us. And when we'd show up, they'd be like,
oh my gosh. No, it was like, where are your parents at?
It was even like even looking at your story, like whenever I saw the sign come up, and I followed your story like through and through, like whenever we're updating everyone with like each bit of the brewery,
and the
like you were doing like the roof or like the counter or where y'all serve the beer, the floor, like
built those tables and bar with our carpenter friend,
like the trees, the trees are very important.
That was one of our favorite days.
And like watching, like I remember watching all of that, like seeing all the pictures. And I mean, because again, like I fell in love as soon as I saw
you got fully invested.
I was in there, and as soon as like I saw the sign come up, and I told these guys, and I'm like, dude, there's a brewery opening down the street from the shop. Like I can't find anything for it before you had social media presence, and it was just like I was like
mysterious,
anticipating because again, like I'm down the street and I'm anticipating like what's coming out and seeing everything bit by bit, like. As soon as everything's like happening, I'm just like, dude, this is really cool. And whenever y'all had your first like pop up,
bottle release,
like I was like, okay, I'm working that day, but like they sold out really fast. They sold out crazy fast.
I think that was probably one of the biggest like surprises is like posting and then actually have people come.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? Like, because you don't think, really you don't think that you're going to get a reaction. Like there's so many businesses and people are busy and there's a lot going on.
Let me just say, like I made a plan to go over there. Like I was like, okay, I'm going to leave work at this time. I'm going to make sure this guy is like, I got to make sure this guy is here at this time so that way he can take over while I'm like going over. I was just going to walk over.
Yeah.
But like by the time I saw the feed on Instagram, I'm like, dude, they sold out already.
Yeah.
Like I was like, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, and now it just wanted me to try it more.
That reminds me of there was a Netflix documentary. I can't remember what it was called, but it was all about the craft brewing and Bissell or something like that. They opened up this brewery and they were doing these pop ups and they were just selling out like crazy, and then just kind of built up from there. So that's, to me, that's incredible, and it just goes to show that Fort Worth, we kind of have this whole like support these local vendors that pop up, and so support local businesses and all that.
Yeah, it's great.
Which
we
great,
love that.
Yeah, great for y'all, right?
Yeah, no, seriously, it was. We were
our
felt
soft
so
opening
lucky.
was ridiculous.
Yeah, the soft opening was. We were up like I was pregnant. We were up the entire night, like slept on the floor on the concrete, like that for like maybe an hour. Like I was at Office Depot crying, asking them to stay open open because we didn't have our menu boards printed like the night before. And then, we look out the front and there's a line going down to the parking lot.
I was in the cold room messing with kegs, actually.
Yeah.
And it was like 11:05.
No, and I'm like, Stuart,
we opened
get
at 11.
out here. Like, oh my God.
We were in that line.
What, really? Yeah. Oh, it was just nuts. Our bartenders, like, that was their first day. You know what I mean? That's why you have soft openings, is to train
That was
your
our
staff,
first
get everyone
time,
used to it.
Managing bartenders.
Yeah.
Doing everything.
Yeah, so it was nuts.
Talking about trial by fire.
Yeah,
oh,
it was,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. But getting the support was really awesome.
So you said your first brew you made was like a Sierra Nevada clone, right? What was the first beer you made that you were like, all right, this is something, like the first beer you did on your own that you were like, I'm super proud of this beer?
Probably the Keller beer,
Yeah.
I think, because that won a lot of awards. So basically it means cellar beer in
Okay.
German. It's like more kind of like a fast lager that's like unfiltered. It can be hazy.
Yeah.
It just kept winning at competitions. So I thought that was
I don't know what
interesting.
happened. I just kept winning. So
winning. So tough.
According to everyone, I was the best ever. So I'm gonna say.
Well, the
all
story-
these medals around my neck, and I was like, I don't know.
Too much.
Well, the story
winning.
the story behind that is I was taking the BJCP class and I didn't go to like the second meeting for some reason. I don't know
Yeah.
why, and they assigned me that style, and I looked it up.
He
I
was
was like,
pissed.
what the hell? Like, why'd I get that style? Like, I know all these
boring.
other
Yeah.
styles.
Yeah.
And so I did it anyway, and actually really liked it.
Well, and then finding
Yeah.
those obscure styles, and then once again the history behind when these styles were invented, why they were brewed. Keller beer, it has something to do with the cellaring, right? And
So basically, it was because a lot of German lagers take a while.
Yeah.
You needed something to fill the gaps,
Yeah.
so you'd have the Keller
In
beer.
Germany.
It can be unfiltered. It can
Yeah.
have
an easy
basically it's not an easy beer to still brew, but it allows you, like I said, to fill that supply gap, to have like a lager.
okay.
It's supposed to be like unfiltered and slightly hazy, but over time it obviously lagers
right.
becomes can become like a Munich Helles a little bit.
Okay.
But
Right. I think that the first time, so we went on that soft opening day, right? We were there, Tab was there, JOE showed up, he was
Yeah.
there also.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
But we came, I was texting him immediately, I was like, man, these beers are like super true to style. You go to these breweries that have some cool, quirky things and it's fun. But then you also have some breweries that are like legit and they know what they're doing. Not saying that they don't, right? But
Yeah.
Right.
there's a place for both of them, right? Because I love me some like crazy New England IPAs with 17 different hops. But sometimes you
Yep.
just want something that's supposed to be what it's supposed to be.
Sometimes I just want a Pilsner to taste like a Pilsner.
Right. That's,
Exactly.
We definitely identified that in ourselves, that we tend to gravitate more toward traditional styles.
But you have that history
one?
kind of like background, so that makes sense after
Yeah.
like talking to you and knowing that.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of like
Chad loves it. Chad loves
I
it.
love it so much.
we were doing a lot of like
More raspberry?
saisons.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
But we had this whole thought process. I know, and this is bad. So
One more raspberry?
realistically, we're supposed to be, controlling your temperature and fermentation and stuff like that.
Probably got too
but
much.
we did a lot of our beers that we were brewing. We didn't want to mess with temperature. We just wanted to let it go and see what happens, kind of
Yeah.
thing. And so we started messing with like saisons a lot, and then we came up with one of our favorites, which was juice box.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
what we call juice box, and that was where we used the dry. We used a freeze dried fruit. And it was one of those deals where we're like, dude, this is good. And then we gave it to our friends. They're like, this is really good. And everybody's wanting to drink it. I'm like, man, we could just start a brewery on just this
Juice
one
box.
beer. And that's it.
And then we never brewed again.
Yeah.
It's the last beer we
That's
ever
awesome,
made.
though. Do you have some leftover somewhere? Maybe we could break it out now.
Man.
We tried like a 2-year-old. It was not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe quality went down.
That was one of those that needed
Fruit
it
flavors were not there.
oxidized a little bit. Yeah. But I mean, so talking with y'all now, it's really started reinvigorating my wanting to bust out our Grainfather
Ooh, girl.
and
Yeah.
brew a little bit.
I've been trying to talk to him into it and for a while
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
I even planned the day. I was
I
like,
know.
we're going to go to Stubby's. We're going to get some stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was busy. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life happens, you
the
know.
dude.
It does.
Yeah.
So with everything going on, y'all started at home and going to like a brick and mortar. Like, how did you go from homebrew to what you have now?
trial by fire again.
Never brewed. Well, you did a guest brew with Wild Acre.
Yeah, I mean, they had like 1,000 different valves. I had no idea what was going on. But so, I mean, when you do that, you're just kind of along for the ride a little bit.
Yeah, they were teaching more.
But it's, we, in 2016, we went to Culpeper, Virginia, Far Gone Brewery.
Okay.
And we bought their equipment. And so he wanted a more automatic kind of equipment. So he had such a good price for his manual stuff. I was like, I don't care about
We don't have money.
shoveling out grain or whatever.
Yeah.
So when Stuart says we went to Culpeper, Virginia, let me just clarify. We drove my Jeep to Culpeper, Virginia with a U-Haul strapped to the
3-day
back
weekend, 44
in
hours.
3 days.
Wow.
And carried this equipment
Nice.
across the United States.
Wow.
Awesome.
So, yeah, we didn't just go to Culpeper.
What size brew house you got?
7-barrel.
7-barrel. Okay.
Yep.
So I think that's perfect size. We have enough where you can distribute some.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have plenty of tap room, but then we sell out fast enough where it's still fresh and we can put
Yeah.
something else on, essentially.
And you can put a bunch on because y'all usually have what, like 15, 20?
Now we have
We've got
28.
28.
Dang!
Well,
Yeah.
actually, there's 2 more. So there's 30, but there's only 28. There's 28 on.
When you've
Yeah.
got a huge brew house, it's hard to have that much of a selection
Yep.
and still, like to your point, have good fresh beer, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
When I walk in other places, I see like two fermenters and a bright tank. I'm like, oh,
It's hard to
I
do
know
a
what's going to
variety.
happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And that was one of our biggest goals, was to constantly have rotating beers of different styles.
That's
Well,
awesome.
it kind of like, and speaking on that, like I love seeing like different types, like one I didn't see like the week before, or just like going
Yep.
over to try something new. Like I love seeing that. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it gives you, like you said, variety, like among like whatever y'all have currently. And
What is going on with
I
your
don't know.
hair, dude?
Yeah, yeah.
Just readjust the headphones. Put the hair behind.
Can we talk about
the
that for a second?
headphones.
no.
Can we cut your hair on live?
No, you can't.
Hey, I cut my own hair. I could do yours.
Hey, there you go.
And I cut Stuart's.
You're doing a great job, obviously.
Well, it's a little grown out right now, but we'll work on it.
Jared said that you look like you have a doo-wop haircut thing going on. So,
Are you a doo-wop boy?
I'm a Jersey boy.
Jersey boy.
oh my gosh,
So you hauled you loaded up a 7-barrel system into U-Haul, pulled behind your Jeep,
Yep.
cross country essentially.
Got there at like 11 o'clock, drank with a guy.
For
went
a
to bed-
while.
Nice.
Went to bed late,
Yeah.
and then woke up with a flat tire Sunday in a small town.
Yeah.
You're like,
And so
Yeah.
there was no one open.
We
Wake up.
literally found
Where
an
am
old
I
man
at?
on the side of the street.
Well, I
who
was like,
helped
oh, I
us.
see a door kind of open.
I
Just
have
pull
pictures.
in there.
Yeah.
And he was going to do something before church.
going to church,
And he's
yes.
like, there's a transmission shop,
Yeah.
like, and all that. I was like, oh, dang it.
And we're
And
looking
then-
sad. Like,
so he gave us an emergency number
we're just trying to make beer.
to get our like tire fixed.
Yeah.
And I woke the guy up and he's like, I'm not getting out of bed. And I was like, oh shit.
we're like really stuck in Virginia right now.
And then the guy came out with like, it almost looked like a 1950s like game board, and it was a tire repair thing. He's like, well, I have this, like I'll give it
I
a
can
try.
help you.
And you drove on that thing for like
Till
4
I sold
more
it.
years. Yeah.
that
Wow.
that tire lasted for years.
Impressive.
Yeah.
nice.
Very cool.
So, and then we drove back, and it sat in the garage for a while, but it was always just kind of reminder and to show our commitment.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
We're doing this
Yeah.
no matter what.
You can't ignore a
So, yeah.
7-barrel system sitting in your garage.
You sure can.
They're like, do you brew it? Everyone come over, do you brew on that? And I made my own 8-tap coffin keezer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
That's
Gatorade.
future. I'm brewing in this still.
Yeah, so first batch just did it. It's actually on tap right now again because it was popular. Into the Unknown.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And Imperial Kolsch. So
Okay, yeah.
it was actually, I'll admit, it was supposed to be a Kolsch.
But it was a little bigger.
Happy mistakes.
Well, it went in correct. And then we weren't getting up to boil. Now we have like the gas fix and all that. So
Yeah.
I sat there and then I sat there for 27 hours.
Waiting for it to boil.
And
That's
I got
dedication right there.
And I got up to
Overnight.
boil.
I'm
and
literally
that's-
texting him like, "Are you coming home?" Or
Yeah, and I slept on the floor right there, but just to make sure, like, have an open flame.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
And then that's how the Imperial Kolsch was born.
Dude, I love happy mistakes, man.
yeah.
That's awesome.
We've had happy mistakes ourselves, and it was funny when we first started doing like the homebrew stuff. It seemed like every brew day as efficient as we were getting, and we were getting good efficiency with our equipment and everything, but we always had something mess up.
Hose busted,
Yo,
electricity's not working
yeah.
for whatever reason, just crazy shit every time.
Couldn't get it to boil, started overflowing, whatever.
My parents called me a happy mistake, but that was a lie.
Well, these are good mistakes.
No, well, I wasn't. I wasn't.
You're my favorite mistake.
We know.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's I love stories like that because you form something like out of whatever thing happened, and you're like, you know what, we're gonna make the best of it. You could have dumped it, and it could have been one of those things, and here you are with a great beer.
Well, hey, that's a good brewers.
Yeah.
Sometimes the beer decides for you, and then you
Yeah.
just
Kinda just have
gotta
to go
market
with
it
it.
correctly.
For real.
Yeah.
But this time, what's on tap, we made it on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
we
time.
tried to
So,
recreate
yeah.
what happened without him sleeping there.
So, so of your styles of beer, what's your favorite beer? Like what you've made?
Ooh, Kolsch, probably the Czech Pilsner. Coffee stout,
Yeah, I love stouts. So I would say like our coalition
Russian
coffee
Pearl
stout,
stout,
specifically. Really love
Irish
Russian
Red
stouts.
Ale.
Yeah.
I haven't had y'all's Irish Red.
don't
Red
really
Ale.
Really
either.
good.
It's pretty
It's
good.
really good.
Yeah.
I'll have to try it. She says it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
We've
That's a compliment. I'm
okay.
pretty harsh.
hey, Pouring Glory liked it. And they
Pretty
got it, so it's there.
Pretty good's for you. He said it's really good. So okay.
World class.
We also we need a
World class.
cheerleader
Yeah.
because who's going to be our cheerleader
Yeah.
if not ourselves?
Gotcha.
You going to tell us about the medals on that one? Or?
Hey, we for that one competition, I only submitted 2 stouts and we won both silver and bronze. I got brewery stout
Damn,
of the
dude,
year.
that's impressive.
Which stouts did you submit?
The Romanov's Revenge
Okay.
and Santa's Little Helper. So it was our first.
Okay.
Both of them are really good.
Spice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was like, dang, I wish I submitted more. But the JBF and what's the other? I'm blanking on the other one, but those are both into July submissions coming up. So we're excited for that to have our first
So
actual
are they going to have
go-around.
GABF this year?
No.
Not in person,
okay.
but
Well,
they will be.
online.
I wish.
Next
I
year is the
wish.
official back in person.
Nice.
We're
What
so
about
excited.
What about Big Texas? Is that going to happen?
That's supposed to be like later this year. I
Yeah,
think.
November.
I think
right?
it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You want to make a run for that this time?
I'd like to go to both. Next time,
Oh, yeah.
like, you've never been to GABF. That'd be fun
I
to go to
haven't.
next year.
we would love to go.
We've never
so.
got to use our tent. We haven't got to go to a beer festival.
Seriously,
haven't
we
got
bought
to
a
do-
We got
tent.
so many things.
It's ridiculous.
The problem that I have with going to Big Texas Beer Fest is we've become, before like the podcast, we became friends with like a lot of people, right? And it's not a bad problem, but it is a problem that you tend to get a little over intoxicated.
Your little
Yeah.
card doesn't matter because
Yeah.
you're just sitting in
Not
a
at
tent
all.
and just drinking beer after
Yeah.
You
beer.
talk to 'em,
That's
that's what
fair. Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, we're just taking the train. It's no big deal.
Yep.
And then you take the wrong train. It's always a thing
End up
every
somewhere
time.
I'll say I got on the right train, and those guys didn't listen to me, so that's their fault.
Whatever. Don't you have a question you're going to ask?
So, Javier kind of hit it with
Yeah.
with your favorite style of beer. But what is your thought on sours? I know, like, so on the brew house side of things, that if you ever commit to trying to do a sour style beer, that ends up being kind of a big deal because cross contamination, all that stuff. So
best of both worlds, kettle sour.
Yeah.
yeah,
So we have a regular goza, we have a margarita goza, and right now we have a jalapeno goza margarita
Ooh.
goza on. It's really
Okay.
good.
It's good.
I'd love to try that.
Have you
So-
had all three of those for a while now?
No,
the
just-
last 2 weeks.
yeah,
Okay.
they're new.
We
They're pretty
breakfast
new.
at Blackland, and so that's aged bourbon barrel aged chips.
Yeah.
What else?
Maple syrup.
Maple
That's
syrup.
cool. The partnership right next door,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, they've
Yeah.
been awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
they're so nice.
Pecan, brown sugar.
Okay.
It's breakfast.
You know, he asked you about sours, though.
But yeah,
yeah. No.
but yes,
He's excited. Y'all got some good stuff on tap. We're going to have to come by like tomorrow.
yeah. But yeah, so we do kettle sours, and so what we do is we do the full brew day. Then we lower, like, we accept hops because the
Right.
lactobacillus is. So we use lactobacillus from Omega. But it's sensitive to hops, so you don't put any hops in. So we do the full brew day. Then we go through our heat exchanger and then point our hose back into the boil kettle and cool it down to like 90 degrees. And then we pitch our lactobacillus, cover the whole boil kettle with saran wrap, and wait 36 hours, and it's sour to 3.2 pH.
Okay.
And then we bring it up to boil, but going up it's probably like 80 degrees after once it's done or something like that. That takes like 5 hours to get that back up to boil because that's a lot.
So it's a 2-day brew day.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we get up to boil. We do our like hour boil to make sure all that's dead. And then we go into the, our uni tank and
So
we
just
go.
keeping everything on the hot side.
Yes, and then so that way we've had no infection. But I don't think
awesome.
we'll ever mess with the cold side.
Yeah, man. So did you ever have any of Collective stuff whenever they were open?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
What kills me about them is I loved all the sour stuff. I loved everything they were doing, but Fort Worth just wasn't ready. I don't think.
That's
I
exactly
agree.
what
Yeah.
we said too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they made excellent beer.
Yeah,
So,
they were really great.
So we're huge fans of like going up to Denver. We love Colorado, and going up to Crooked Stave is one of our favorite sour style breweries. They're amazing. But Denver was ready for that.
Yep.
Denver had been ready for that, and I feel like going sour only is kind of a hard thing proven to be a hard thing to do here.
Yep.
Martin House I think does a lot of kettle sour too.
Right.
So
They're salty ladies.
so
Yeah.
I can't directly speak, but
Yeah.
I would assume they don't.
okay.
Because they brew constantly, like 24 hours.
Yeah.
They have so many shift brewers.
Really?
And so I would say they're adding lactic acid.
Okay.
If I had to guess, but I can't verify that.
Yeah, we've never
'cause there's
brewed with
not
them.
enough
so,
time.
yeah.
Back in the day, they probably
Yeah.
just did quick sours or the
Kettle sour.
kettle sours. Yeah.
I think it's just lactic acid.
Yeah.
That's the other way of doing it. To
Right.
sour
Well, and
beer.
Martin House has really like grabbed on to that.
Yeah.
To me, that each brewery in Fort Worth and DFW has a thing, right? And that's
Just
just not our
fun.
thing.
Yeah, their
Add
thing,
junk.
their
Martin
thing
House,
is
that's their thing.
yeah, their
You know
thing is
what I mean?
the niche beers that are
Yeah.
just like he said it best on one of our podcasts. It was kind of like have you ever seen the movie Half Baked by chance?
No.
Okay, well, there's a scene where he's just like talking about like going to get like you want to do that.
Funyuns, like pizzas with everything on it, and
Pizzas with everything on them.
We're gonna eat some hot dogs, man. And
to get Funyuns, you got to get the Funyuns, man.
but that's that seems to be like like they're doing all these weird stuff, right? And they really did hone into that. And we had Collective, and they were doing all the sour stuff.
Yep.
And for a while there, Hot Fusion had some pretty they had some true to like style beers for a little bit, but they go heavy. Those beers, I go in there and I can have like 2 or 3, and I am done.
Where at?
Hot Fusion.
Fusion.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're all like
we have
6,
a
7,
ton
8.
of low ABV beers.
Right.
Yeah, we're much lower.
So you got
Yep.
a lot of table beers, and
Yeah.
that's awesome too. So I feel like all these different breweries, they all have these little things. So you've got the true to style, which we didn't have here. And RAR had some true to style, but they're all like 5-6%, unless you get into like imperial stuff.
And Cowtown will hit true style.
Okay, do that.
as
Okay.
well. Yep.
So I haven't done much. I haven't drank much at Cowtown. I've been there a couple of times. Their barbecue's great, but
Yeah, we really like Cowtown.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
do you feel like the brewing community here has been really like inclusive?
I mean, when we opened, everyone brought beer, came and said hi. Now, we weren't there every time someone
Right.
came in, but they at least talked to one of our bartenders. I mean, it was just so nice. And then, even brought a sticker, put it on the cold room.
Yeah.
So that sort of, community feel is great.
That's
right?
really cool.
Yeah. And we even, I mean, it's just not even just breweries, though. I mean, like I was saying, our neighbors, Blackland,
Yeah.
I mean, they, gave us barrels. Like,
That's
just
awesome.
to start
Oh
our
my
barrel
God.
age. I mean, and those are expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah, I mean, they still help us like pick up our grain because they partner with a farmer and they're like, hey, we'll just coordinate with you guys and we can help you
Is that
too.
Sage?
So
No, not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sage moved to Austin.
Yeah.
but yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
now Blackland's taking over all those buildings. Now Blackland's taking over
She
all
knows
those
that
buildings
on the mic.
next to them. So
Yeah.
they're doing well, and they make good stuff. You should try what we made our breakfast in Blackland out of their
Yeah, that's what Stuart's talking
pecan.
about.
Yeah.
Their bourbon
Pecan
pecan
maple.
brown sugar.
Yeah.
Oh my
Brown sugar,
God.
that's
We
what it
put
is,
in the
brown
maple
sugar.
syrup.
delicious. Yeah.
So I kicked myself because I went to like Central Market because they had like the bigger maple syrup. So I just bought a ton of that. I don't know, 20, 25 a bottle. So it cost a ton.
Yeah.
And then we walked into Costco. It was $10 for the same thing. I was like, crap.
Freaking Costco.
Yeah. I know.
live and you
I was
learn.
like, I wish
Worth
I
the
didn't see it
membership.
almost.
Yeah, if you didn't have the membership, if you need it, I've got the hookup. I've got a
Thank you.
membership. I'll take you. You
I
know?
actually
like-
used my mother's membership card.
Don't say that.
That's
Yeah,
hush
for all
hush.
of you Costco employees,
My mom and I look alike, so I mean,
The CEO of Costco watches our show.
on a regular basis. No, but like, yeah, Blackland's, what is the bourbon? What is it? The brown sugar pecan? right?
Yeah.
That you
Really
just need to
good.
Pour over ice.
you just drink it.
That's it.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it's,
Maybe a little water, but like
yeah.
it's just good as.
I haven't
Their
been there
old-
yet.
Get
highly
their old
recommend.
fashioned of that.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Of
Yeah.
that, or get their coffee
espresso martini.
espresso martini.
Okay, so I'm a huge fan of coffee. So if you got
Yes,
coffee
get
and anything,
that.
then I'm just
Get
gonna
that.
here's my debit card.
Yeah, the espresso. I mean, all of their drinks are great, but their espresso martini also highly recommend.
So go to them first or us first? You know,
Just go to both.
go to us and then go to them.
Either way, you're going to end up at both. That's all that matters.
And then Uber.
As long as you're not driving. Now there is a new bike share that's starting up right in front of our building. So
I think you get in
Really?
trouble for driving.
no, you
while-
shouldn't be
while
driving a bike
biking.
while inspected either. But it is pretty cool. So if you need a
They
ride,
pull you over for that, don't they?
You gotta
think they
obey.
will.
You gotta obey all traffic laws while
Yeah.
biking.
At A&M, they'd get
stop
you
at
for
a
that.
stop sign.
Not
really.
if they don't catch you. They
Hey,
don't catch you.
If you cross at a crosswalk, you're supposed to get off your bike and walk it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I didn't know.
Oh, I didn't
Supposed
know that
to.
either.
Oh
I
yeah.
just jump off the bike and go across the train tracks. They can't
That's
catch
what
me
you're
there.
supposed to do.
No, sir.
Okay.
No,
that's,
sir.
That's enough.
So like regarding your spot, why'd you pick your location? Like where?
the
What,
beer
what-
garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ability. So I keep doing it, but
That's fine.
so that was a kind of broken parking lot before.
Okay.
And so that kind of what we mentioned earlier, that 3.5 years of looking for real estate, that's what we were looking for. We get close to picking somewhere and like signing, and then I'd be like, no, like the beer garden is what I really, really want to have. We can do whatever we can with the inside and make it special, but if you don't have the physical space for the beer garden, then you can't do it.
Okay.
So that's why we eventually picked that space.
Yeah, I mean, we looked in all areas of Fort Worth.
Yeah.
You know, we knew we wanted to be in Fort Worth. Like, we never looked outside of Fort Worth. But, I mean, we looked at warehouses, like, I would say just, like, random area warehouses.
Well, I liked it
looked
because
in
it was more
Southside.
centrally located.
Yep.
Well, now you're right down the road from downtown now that the bridge is
Yeah.
open
Thank
again.
That's
goodness.
so nice.
Yeah. I mean, so we really, I mean, when we say we looked for 3.5 years, we really did. And so it was a lot
I
of.
had LoopNet on my phone.
yeah, just
like,
he was like at his
any-
corporate job, and
any
they're like, "Get off your phone."
notification. Because these guys that get the huge commissions don't even put it in there right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to put every filter on.
Yeah, and
'cause
try to
you'll
just
miss
refresh.
some good building or
Wow.
something like that.
I mean, we
because they'll do it
toured-
wrong. Like
Yeah, we toured a ton of locations. I mean, what we kind of hinted at it earlier, but I mean, it was hard getting people to even take us seriously. So a lot of times we'd be like, "Let's do it," and they're like, "No, you're gonna mess up our building and then leave."
it's gonna smell.
Yeah.
I'm like, like bread, I guess.
Yeah.
But okay.
yeah.
But
So it really
there'd be
a bunch of different
things.
factors had to come together to
But
finally make it work.
to actually have the beer garden where we could plant trees for us was huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Because this is kind of something we're going to push soon is kind of the education. So there's a patio and then there's a beer garden. So the beer garden actually was in Germany because they planted the trees because they have their cellar underneath to keep the beer cool because they have modern refrigeration. So people would come there, get fresh, cool beer and
From
bring their
underground.
food.
Yep.
Okay.
And so that's how the beer garden was born. So
I mean, even
in
the
our
gravel,
opinion, you have to
yeah.
have gravel, the trees
We shipped our furniture in from Germany.
from Germany. It took like 3
I mean,
months
like
to get here.
we're
Yeah.
truly like
my God.
we went for it for the
very
beer
cool.
garden.
So you have to have kind of big trees. I mean,
yeah,
to be like a beer garden,
Right.
traditionally.
Well, it
Yeah.
definitely feels like a beer garden, and it's not just like you're true to style, but then you also have like the long tables inside,
Yep.
which is like that family communal style type
Yeah,
situation.
we wanted
There's
that
beer
really
hall.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love
Yep.
that. And then you got the actual beer garden, right? To your point, you got the fountain, you got the trees, you got the the seating. It's beautiful. Like it's so much fun.
We
to
installed
go there.
all the brick inside. That
Yeah.
was insane.
yeah,
Really?
we did the
Hand
exposed-
bricked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it came with it. What was this before? And I was like, it was a hellhole. before. like,
It was nothing. We actually have before pictures. We should
Literally,
post
it
them
was
somewhere.
nothing.
They could see into
should.
hell, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, we got to fix this
I
up.
made sure
Yeah.
to get like asbestos
Oh,
surveys.
yeah, absolutely.
Like I was
Yeah.
scared to death of that. Actually, the 7-Eleven that just came up next to us, they got delayed because someone had
Asbestos.
dumped asbestos
Yeah.
underground.
So they had to safely
There,
remove
yeah.
all of that.
Yeah, so then they had to spray. They had to do
Javier, that wasn't your dad, was it?
all the. I was scared to be there. I was like, I don't even want to be in the
Oh, yeah.
vicinity.
No, that's
I don't care if they're
scary.
spraying it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
who knows if something.
Yeah.
I actually, in a previous life, I worked in hazardous material, and I did some asbestos abatement, and it's very intense what you have to go through.
Yeah.
and
Yep.
It's very, very expensive.
Yes.
So those
Watch
people,
a documentary on it. It's
Yeah.
those
I
people
know.
paid out. I guarantee they paid out the ass to have that 7-Eleven put in there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
I don't know how much like
I mean, hundreds of thousands.
the shop.
Yes.
The shop I'm at, like down the street from y'all, we've been there for like 97. How many years is that? Since 97.
Like 23 years, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. And then like my dad's been working out of that area since for 40 years, more than 40 years.
That's awesome.
So who dumped?
So was it your dad?
No, I mean it was probably like one of them, like Haas, like what's that movie with Burt Reynolds and Smokey and the Bandit? No,
Yeah.
the other one. No, the
I don't know.
the-
You're
The
going off.
trying to
hillbillies.
follow you.
The one hillbillies, like the hillbillies,
The Beverly Hillbillies?
No,
No,
the
I
guys
don't-
with the
Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard.
Okay.
The guy
Oh, yeah.
Haas, like
Boss Hog.
Boss Hog, buried everything over there.
Man, you're really unraveling, huh?
Sorry,
Yeah.
man. I work like
We know. You already said it.
Yeah, you already said it.
So I feel like have y'all been to like Germany, Europe, anything like that?
Yes.
We went for a honeymoon for
Nice.
16
Yeah.
days.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
16 days?
Yeah.
We were there a while.
oh my,
So we
Had to do research.
We,
yeah.
it's tax deductible.
Business expense.
Research.
we got married early September, and we delayed our honeymoon so we could perfectly align with Oktoberfest.
Yeah, it was weird to go back to work that Monday.
Yeah, like, we're back. I mean, we didn't go anywhere because we need to wait for Oktoberfest. So
Yeah.
we went, and that was the first thing
It was
we
so
did.
much fun.
You know, we did Oktoberfest for 3 days, and I mean, if you've ever been to
We
Oktoberfest
just like
in
made
Munich,
friends
it
with
was
random Germans and drank with them all
I mean, the
night.
second night we made friends with like an Australian man. Like, I mean, it's just a bunch of community coming together. Everyone was super friendly.
Just huge beers. Just huge beers and tents.
Huge beers. And so, you see these women like carrying, and I mean, hardly carry like
It's
a couple
insane.
liters.
It looks
They
fake,
carry, I
but,
mean,
like,
It's
the
like
amount of
it's
liters.
5 beers and then
how
one
they do
stacked
it.
on in the middle, right? And they
Yep.
do both hands.
I almost got ran over by one.
No,
and I don't blame her for not stopping because
heavy.
yeah, it's heavy as hell.
Yeah, you
The
better
glass
get out of the
alone,
way.
the glass is
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
And then you fill those with a liter of beer. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So that really, when we went to Germany, I mean, whenever we go on trips, we use that as kind of our inspiration.
We've always
to pull
researched every
something.
brewery.
Yeah, we went
What
to
are the
Fort
pain
Collins.
points? What works?
Yeah, just trying to hone in on like what really inspires us. But yeah, Germany was definitely.
When did y'all
probably-
go?
We went back in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, good weather, everything. It was awesome.
beautiful.
When were y'all there?
I think it was 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went up the
2016.
Rhine.
No, 2015. It was 2015.
2015?
Yeah. Because I got married in 2016. It was like 3 months after, or before we got married, rather. And
Oh,
so,
nice.
yeah, we went with a couple of friends of ours. Shout out to Danny and Courtney. And it was so much fun. But we did like, it was a quick, like, we were in a different country every day. And so we
Oh,
were there
cool.
for
Oh,
the
wow.
opening of Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Got crazy. Stayed with my sister-in-law's dad, who lived just north in Freezing, Germany. I don't
Wow.
know. Random. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a crazy fun
We
time.
did it for 4 days in a row, and then
Yeah.
that was enough.
We
There's
were
no
really
way.
Tired.
We kept doing it.
What is
really
wrong
tired.
with you?
Like, this is romantic.
Oh, and then we went to what was it, the Englisher Garden?
Englisher
where
Garden.
Where they had food. And I love buffalo wings. Like buffalo roast.
It's so, it all circles back.
And so I had all the food, and they had buffalo wings. And so I was like, Alyssa, let's get the buffalo wings.
because
Yeah.
we're the Americans in Germany.
Worst-
and you need buffalo wings.
Obviously, yeah.
Worst
Duh.
decision ever.
Yeah.
We got violently sick.
Food poisoning
my
for like
God.
2
Yeah.
days. Yeah,
And
so that was
missed
a
our
great
tour at Neuschwanstein.
Schwanstein. Yeah, it was a great introduction to marriage. We'll just say that.
Wow.
Yeah, we're both sick.
Y'all know each other really well.
TMI.
Both sick, one bathroom. It's terrible.
So, other than your own, what's the best beer garden you've ever been to?
Dang,
Put
that's a
him on the
hard
spot.
question. Yeah. Best beer garden.
I mean, I really liked it's I guess not technically they wouldn't describe it themselves as a beer garden, I don't think, but Hofbrau in Germany.
I was going to
Okay.
say that. I really liked Hofbrauhaus.
It was just gorgeous. I mean, they had the fountain, which is where we saw that and we were like, wow, that's just beautiful. Great atmosphere. What we love about breweries in Germany and other places, especially, is that it's a family culture. I mean,
Yeah.
people they bring their kids. Like kids are able to see people drinking, pretty much responsibly.
That one in Baden
Yeah.
was cool. It was like a little restaurant, but it was like cool beer. Like really,
that one was
the
cool.
Huge,
I don't remember.
You
the
know,
name.
like the huge tents where it's like thick, like
Yeah.
metal,
Yeah.
and they're like mega kind of umbrellas.
But
Right.
Had
it was a
those.
family affair. I mean, everyone's out there, and it's just super, fun and
I
lively.
really want to go to Old Mecklenburg Brewery.
Yep, in
and,
North
like,
Carolina.
Yeah.
You just made that up?
no.
Old Mecklenburg Burger Berg.
And then
Yes.
I was like, wait, I look at it on my phone,
He
but
said
I
it with a
haven't said
question
it
mark
out
in his
loud.
eyes.
Yeah. I really like what they do.
Yeah,
BS me, bro?
They look great.
I follow the hashtag Beer Garden on Instagram,
Oh,
and then
cool.
so I see like what everyone's doing.
Biergarten.
Yeah.
Biergarten.
You-
That's how we
have to.
research a little.
Yeah.
Did y'all get to? I mean, we went to. I don't know if it would technically be a beer garden. I think it was though. It was after Oktoberfest. We got on a train and we went up to Vienstoffener, and they had like this, which is right there, like an hour train, and they had this beautiful view of like this like pasture and like everyone's drink. It was like one of the coolest experiences. I was pretty drunk already, but like the experience other than that, and the food was amazing. Oh, that was so much
Yeah.
fun. That was a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, driving up the Rhine, like stopping at any restaurant, going
Yeah.
to little beer gardens or whatever was awesome too.
That's cool. Cool.
Yeah.
So we've got just a couple more questions. So I think you've kind of already hit on some of it, but since you're 9 months ish in, right? What would you each say? Because you each have kind of a different role in the brewery, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you each say is your biggest struggle going into a new business, a new brewery, individually?
Time. So just having the time to do what you want to do. You
That's
can
accurate.
have
Yeah,
all of these
that's accurate.
amazing and big ideas, and really we think big. Like we really do. When we have a vision, we try. As you can see, we bring in trees and we plant them. Like we
No other brewery's doing that.
yeah, we really try to play out what's
The
in our
gate.
heads. Yeah.
Yeah.
But having the time to implement, the money to implement, and then the people to implement things. It's not just I thought of it and there it is.
Yeah.
there's-
Now we're so stretched.
Right, and obviously,
Delegating.
just we have a almost 4-month-old baby. So
Yeah.
with that added on, COVID. I mean, COVID hit when we were in construction. So it's just there was always something, and so I think at least we've learned to deal with time constraints. But I would definitely say having the time to execute what we want to, and we're not patient people. So we get very frustrated when we can't see things coming to fruition faster than we want. As fast as we want it to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say that's my answer too.
Yeah,
So-
I mean it's a struggle.
Well, shout out to you both because like you started off with it looking beautiful. You had not just 3 or 4 beers on tap on you opened up, and like a lot of times you go to a brand new brewery and it's like in a warehouse. They've got 3 tables and they got 4 things on tap, and you get to try them all and you leave and you're done. But like people want to continue to come back to your spot because you're continuing to grow. But even right off the get go, it was beautiful, it was inviting, and the beer was fantastic, right? So like
Thank you.
your vision definitely came to fruition quickly, I guess, because of that same kind of like mentality, right?
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
I mean, really,
Constant
especially
improvement.
Stuart, a pusher to get things done. And
Yeah.
I think you have to be that way to really, as an entrepreneur, to be successful. Because if you're not aggressively pushing toward what you want, no one else is. Everyone else is just kind of, watching you do this. And if you're not, running and trying to get ahead and do it, no one else is going to help you do that because it's your dream, not theirs.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We fixed the gravel too.
We did. We've been trying to make it more sturdy because the gravel's very loose. So that's been our.
How do you make the gravel more sturdy?
Shovel it out.
We have too much of it. Anyone want some free gravel for
I
their
literally
garden?
have it's high quality double washed
We're
gravel.
actually serious. This is a shout
wanna
out
give it
to
away
any
for free.
gardeners in Fort Worth.
I don't want to throw it away.
Come and fill up some buckets.
I don't
of
want to
gravel.
throw it away.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just a shame.
Yeah.
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 All right.
But yeah, so we've been taking it away. So I mean, that was a struggle with construction because I told the guys, I was like, no, just put a thin layer on. They're like, no, you need at least 2 inches. And I'm like,
Didn't work out that well.
and
Yeah.
they're like, no, we've done this a bunch. And then it was like walking on a beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh crap.
It's just the
you
things
guys gonna compact this?
it's also the things you don't think about that bother
Yeah.
you the most sometimes, because it's daily stuff that pops up,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So is there I know it's probably if you do you can answer if you don't Like it's fine. Do you have any new like types of beers coming out? Like any new flavors or any?
Doppelbock
Yeah.
coming out. True Doppelbock. It'd probably be over 9%. Probably over 9%. I keep forgetting.
Love it.
You know, true German yeast from Y Yeast. I'm trying to remember the exact number, but what else do we have coming out? We might kind of do kind of like a Blood and Honey,
Okay.
kind of clone a little bit, trying to figure it out a little.
Yeah, we're kind of playing around with that one.
Yeah.
So,
Just to, you know, kind of like the blood orange and the spice and just see how that goes.
Yep.
Let me ask you: do you still use your old setup for your test batches, or you?
I thought I would,
Yeah.
but no, I'm just like, no, I'm just going to test on the big thing.
It's a lot of time to just be
Yeah, I'm
testing
like,
on that
no,
small.
we'll do it live.
Yep.
But like full seven barrels, or do you
Oh,
start
yeah.
too small?
No, full 7
just
barrels.
go, yeah.
Oh,
full
okay.
send, full
Yeah.
send.
Yep.
Full send, bro.
Yeah. Full steam ahead.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, and that's same with the kettle sour, like
Yeah.
all of it. I'm like, I'll get it done. So
That's so
we get it
impressive.
done,
It works.
yeah.
You're going full send, and you haven't thrown anything out. That's
Yeah.
very, very impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because a lot of that is test and, you know what I mean, get rid
That
of
means he
whatever.
actually put his research in.
Well, I was about to
I
say
did
to
brew
be
like once or twice a week, every week for
Yeah.
like
Right.
a long time.
and
You know
to
your
be a
shit.
good brewer, I mean, the attention to detail, like I could never brew
Yeah.
because like I don't have the attention span to do that. But that is like what you
Like
need.
changing on the fly.
Yeah, I mean,
you
it's
know.
a lot more like math than you. I'm just like the math
Our-
and sciences are not
Our
my
problem
thing.
is we start drinking during the brew,
Get a little bit, yeah,
and then it just goes haywire at the end.
yeah, yep.
That's
I
when,
think once the boil starts, it's safe. Usually, but-
It's safe fish right now.
We're fine.
that's when the tubes start breaking and things start happening.
just like,
It's it got too hot.
I'm too drunk to mess with this.
Yeah. Bad.
So aside from the beer, that obviously like what you're doing right now, like is a success. Like you're doing great. I mean, we love your product. We've loved it for a good while now. If it wasn't beer, what would you be doing? Like if beer wasn't something that was like at your heart, like what would you like think that you'd be?
nothing. Like literally nothing. Like
Yeah.
Dreaming about brewing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would probably be unhappy.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, we both were in corporate jobs before
Yeah.
we started, so we kind of had a taste of, what corporate life is. And, honestly, I think there's a place for that.
Yeah.
Corporate life allows you to have like more of a life like outside of work,
Yeah.
for example, like being an entrepreneur doing like what we're doing like is not for everyone, and that's because you sacrifice a lot of things. Like we weren't
Absolutely.
joking when we say we don't go places. So
Yeah.
like when you ask what our favorite like local spots are, it's like, well, 3 years ago we really like to go here.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean,
At least
Like
some of them are
stuck
still
in
relevant.
time.
yeah. Clay Pigeon is close to the brewery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, it's across the street. So, but for me, I mean, I'd be doing marketing. Still, I would just be doing it in a corporate setting.
So I mean, either way, you'd find your way back. You'd
Yeah.
find your way to the brewery. You'd find your way to brew beer. Like,
Yeah.
It would just come back to that full circle.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really good.
I mean, yeah, I was
Not gonna lie.
brewing when I was like 19 or 20 or whatever,
yeah,
but
yeah.
And that was just a hobby, like with your friends, or like
no, just me. I never knew anyone else who
Yeah.
brewed.
I think his
just
friends
did
thought
it.
he was like brewing up meth or something. So.
Well, no, they would.
Well, you making
I would be, like
drugs.
asleep.
What
They
is he
knock on the
doing?
door and be like, "Can we like take some of your beer?" I'm like, sure.
we don't want to buy Natty Ice
I know.
anymore.
Right.
Oh, also, like, have you ever had Natty? Like, have you ever tried
Yes.
Natty?
Yes.
Like, I
Pretty watery.
to this day, I've never had it. Like, I've
I
never
still-
had it.
Wow.
I'll still drink
That's
it.
like an achievement.
I know it is, right? Like people, they're like, we don't believe you. Like you've had it. I'm like,
Look.
no, I haven't.
I'm not opposed to going like full on like getting 40s or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it
I
just
used to get
like
40s,
that's
like-
what I want to drink. I'm
Sometimes
gonna,
it happens.
Yeah.
What's that Natty Flamingo beer that they came out with like a
Oh
year or
my
two
God.
ago?
Oh, that is
I
actually
have
really
been
good.
caught drinking that in a pool somewhere, and I was like,
It was like a
shit?
natty,
caught.
natty days. They had a
Spotted
I've
you.
literally never heard of it.
I'm sorry.
Is that like a seltzer?
They jumped. Okay,
No.
Natty Lights jumped on the seltzers, which they had the best like production beer seltzers. Natty Light had the best ones out there. The best seltzers I've ever had is Tups.
Blur, yeah.
Blur,
Really?
Tups, Blur by Tups is excellent. But Natty Light, out of all production breweries, they best seltzers, blew everything out of the water. But they had another one. It was like a strawberry like mojito beer thing that they made,
Oh yeah.
and that was actually really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They were
We're
they were
thinking about seltzers.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I can tell you that if you want research, try Blur by Tufts because they don't go the low calorie seltzers.
Yeah.
They're like full. I mean, it's like
Well, they're not a lot of calories. There's
No,
not like
but
they're
it's-
full craft beer.
but a lot of
situation.
I
But they're
remember.
not skimping.
Yeah,
No,
a lot of the
yeah.
seltzers were like, oh, it's lower calorie, blah blah blah,
100
whatever.
or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
No. This is about almost like drinking a beer. It's really good, a lot of flavor. So definitely check them out.
Yeah,
for
if
sure.
you're interested in like doing a little research there.
I bought a book, so we're good there. Awesome. Learning from scratch like before, but
It's much easier, right? It's just like sugar water, right?
champagne yeast, I guess, sugar
Yeah.
water, and then flavoring.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, interesting.
biofine to get it
Get it
clear.
clear, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. I get. Well, you need like RO water and like all that, like pretty soft water, and
Right.
we have that. And that so far, that's what I think it's it. But I've not made one, so
Yeah.
So I mean, I've got questions. I'm going to ask you off because it's going to get really nerdy here in a little
Yeah,
bit.
just-
So
Yeah.
we'll ask off real quick, but yeah.
So let's go ahead and start closing out,
Yeah,
shall
let's
we?
do that.
So is there any dates, events, anything you want to plug coming up?
Well, you know, honestly, right now we're kind of revamping everything. We just hired a marketing intern, which I'm very excited about.
Oh,
So
cool.
you're going to see a lot of new things coming out of the gates pretty soon. I will say that we are making some pretty big Oktoberfest plans.
Yes!
You know,
Yes!
Want to be
we
the best
obviously
Oktoberfest,
love
yeah.
Germany and German beers,
Yeah.
and it just aligns very well. So just stay tuned for what we kind of release on that.
I would just love to say that the thing that I missed like the most, like that y'all were gonna have, was the Stein holding contest.
We're going to do it.
Oh my god, I was just
We were
like,
so excited.
Well, what I want to have is like a huge trophy, huge blank spot, and then every year.
Oh,
some
yeah.
names
That
are
is-
at the
No,
brewery,
we are
yeah.
going to
Yeah.
do
I'm
it.
gonna have to start working out now.
Yes.
Like I want to
Yes,
win
the
that.
video.
Oh my god.
The singer or the artist that we talked about,
Zeus,
2 years ago, our last Fort Worth Oktoberfest, he won it at the Stein.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think I was third or fourth place. I was up there, but
yeah.
he won
It's
number
hard.
one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, you'll definitely see that at our Oktoberfest.
Awesome.
That'll be fun.
So.
We also, new thing. We got 3 new cornhole boards, so we'll have cornhole tournaments.
Okay, cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Where can people find you online, social media?
www.maplebranchbrew.com. We're on Instagram and Facebook at Maple Branch Brew. So, yeah, that's the best way to kind of keep up with what we're doing. Instagram, particularly, we post there basically every day. Facebook, not as much, but, we try. So,
Same.
Is you got any like beer trivia or anything like that happens throughout the week? Or?
yep. So, on
Wednesday.
Wednesdays, we have trivia. Usually it's general trivia. However, I mean, from this conversation, you can game that we are Harry Potter fans.
Yeah.
So, I think that will be the next one.
That'll be coming up.
Yeah.
I'm off on Wednesdays.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm down
Yeah.
for. We haven't done a trivia night in a
They
long
have so
time.
Yeah.
many good things on tap.
All right.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
gotta
like we gotta
come.
go.
Technically, both sessions $100 gift cards
No
total
kidding.
is
Yeah, so if you're good at
That's a
trivia, you could be
lot.
drinking for free at Maple
So
Branch for the
there's-
rest of your
there's-
life.
so there's 2 rounds. First 25, second 15,
Yeah.
third 10, and
Yep.
so 50, so 100 total. But
And then Thursday, we're probably going to be launching that cornhole tournament and a couple other fun things that we haven't yet
Fridays,
determined.
always live music.
Yep.
Okay.
In the
Boys,
beer
that's a
garden.
challenge. That's a challenge.
Right? I can't wait.
We can assemble a team.
Yeah.
Simbo!
Yeah, you gotta win. We have what's that one group that always wins?
You've got like a
Bourbon
trivia
something.
group that always wins?
Yes,
Yeah,
they're so
a
good.
lot,
So, I
yeah.
mean, if you guys
So
can
you
come and
gotta beat 'em.
challenge.
Down with that group.
Is it the nerdy
I
virgins?
think they're called Team Bourbon or something.
Yeah, it's Team Bourbon.
So shout out
so-
to you guys if you're listening.
We got to get
Good.
Chase involved. Chase is always good at trivia.
we'll get him on.
We'll bring a team.
Yeah.
We'll bring a crew. We'll at least get second. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, it got to a point they kept paying you gift cards. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
we're just
god,
like,
this-
okay.
Tired of this shit.
Someone challenge them.
All right. Well, Alyssa, Stewart, so much fun getting to know you both, and thank you for coming on. We've had a way better time than I think that we thought we would.
That's a compliment.
We've never met, so we didn't know. And this has been a lot of fun, especially with Javier and his nerdy stuff. So appreciate you all.
Lord of the Rings.
If you don't already follow us on social media, you can do so at The Funky Panther or find us at thefunkypanther.com. Also, thank you for watching on Twitch and YouTube. If you don't already do so, please follow, subscribe, leave us a comment, leave us some feedback, whatever you want to do. You can also text us or call at 817-677-0408. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you. Stay
Also,
good.
wait, hold on. Go back and
shit.
follow Maple Branch on their social medias and all that
They
stuff.
said that.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to make
You were
it
looking
clear.
at
Give
your
us
phone.
some love.
I was give them likes and send them comments and
I'm about to turn you down.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we won best craft beer in Fort Worth.
Heyo.
and we won
I heard.
Just a
Congrats
whole
to
crew
you
of best
guys.
stuff right here.
and we won Reader's Choice best podcast in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
This is the room to be in.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Cramped room, but we'll take it.
All right, well, stay good, everybody. I'm Chad.
I'm Javier,
And I'm Tim.
and we are
The Funky Panther!
Bye.